Satan's Cheerleaders is a drive-in pseudo-exploitation film directed by Greydon Clark, whose work we previously checked out in the 1983 Joe Don Baker masterpiece Joysticks. This film doesn't feature that legend, sadly, but it does star John Ireland, Lily Munster herself, Yvonne De Carlo, runner-up in the Gotta Make the Donuts contest, Jack Nudchin, Charlie Chaplin's offspring, Sudney Chaplin, Jacquilin Cole, Kerry Sherman, Hillary Horan, Alisa Powell, Sherry Marks, and John Carradine, who is here for a quick paycheck. The film opens with the cheerleaders and football players of Benedict High, obviously named for the legendary Dirk Benedict, doing their best at honoring Tommy Wiseau's creative genius. You have to love this bitchin' soundtrack. Damn, I love the 1970s. After a confrontation with a rival school, Ms. Johnson teleporting, she asks if they have seen the last season of The Office when everything went over the rails, and suggests that they play a game of chicken, because bloody knuckles would break the budget of this movie. We finally get to see the actual high school, complete with Satanist Captain Kangaroo playing the Rhinestone Cowboy. The captain is cautious as he watches the star football player get molested. He's very protective of the girls, going so far as installing a surveillance system. Thanks, Obama. Ah, TP and water balloons. The old days equivalent to a passive-aggressive Facebook poke. We get the expected nudity in the shower, and don't forget about the peeping Tom in the closet. I'm glad these girls wear their names on their clothes so I can tell them apart. About 80% of the cheerleaders all are the same character.
Hey, what's the matter with Patty?
Nothing, she's thinking.
Why would anyone want to do that?
See what I mean? Whoa, we need to tone down the volume of that leisure suit, buddy. After having a plot device, I guess Wild and Crazy Guy put a hex on their clothes. I thought he was just a panty sniffer. The girls decide to hitchhike, and Captain Kangaroo saves the day. He gets himself a handful of ass and kidnaps a team. They arrive at a satanic altar that looks a lot like the Cowardly Lion with horns. Somewhere along the line, Patty got some bad acid, strips, and Captain Kangaroo goes into vapor lock. They steal the truck and run into John Carradine, whose character sums up why John Carradine is in this shitty movie.
I'm working, man. When a man stops working, the top is just isn't good economics, if you know what I mean.
No, I'm sorry, I really don't. It means he wants some bread, right, Pop?
At your service, ladies.
They reach the sheriff and Lily Munster, who must have gotten remarried after Herman met the torch and pitchfork crowd. And in the plot twist...
Witnesses. I'll say that the janitor killed them all and then suffered his fatal attack. It's a perfect cover.
It's our moment of glory. Praise be to Satan that we have been chosen.
They're the head Satanists! The sheriff goes to the altar to investigate, discovers the captain, who is still alive, and then kills him, celebrating his latest murder with... Geronimo! Well then, this film is obviously murdering cinema. The girls escape because they're obviously all virgins, right? Miss Johnson gets caught, beaten, and raped by the sheriff because for some reason movies in the 70s really like to throw in a rape scene. Then we get the Great Escape montage. John Carradine fleshes out his performance by having a run-in with one of the cheerleaders in my backyard. Of course they get caught by the population of Creepsterville, but wind up opening a door and leaving again. You would think that the only law enforcement officer for miles around would have a better containment system than half a garage door. Lily fears the power that Patty possesses and decides to pray to her overgrown popsicle art project, then develop film. So they're on the run again, but this time they're being pursued by a satanic convoy that looks more like the afternoon pickup at a school in Deliverance country. Lily does find that Bratz doll that Marilyn wanted in a Sears catalog. Sears? There's a dead reference. Those girls won't be winning a World Series for a while. The remainder of the film is basically some assholes in robes chasing some strange in the woods. There's a last stand at the altar and Lily becomes dinner for her companion dogs, but we have to get to the sacrifice. There's a dating game type selection of the unsoiled maiden, to which Patty, showing that she has more than tab and amphetamines in her, reveals that the virgin had been Miss Johnson, until the sheriff overstepped his bounds early in the day and that the big man was pissed. The sheriff admits that it was all bullshit and special effects, which leads me to wonder, what is the point of killing teenagers with the community? Why not pull a Foxy Thunderbird and do it on the down low? It worked for John Carradine's son! Captain Kangaroo, who seems to have the power of Jason Voorhees in the Resurrection Department, shows up and impales the sheriff, and the Hamanagers worship Patty as their devil goddess. But she decides to use her power to help the team win football games. Hey asshole, the clock is still running. Released in 1977 for the drive-in market, Satan's Cheerleaders is considered a horror comedy. The only problem is, it's not scary, and it's not funny. Honestly, it's more a TNA/demonic possession cash grab, which was popular in this era of the 70s. I'm willing to bet this even ran as a double feature with Exorcist II: The Heretic, which was also released in the summer of 77. Which makes sense because both films are confusing and terrible.
I know the secret. Hey, how much? How much your daddy pay me?